What's up, guys? Season 4, dude. I'm glad to have you on. I called you up. I sent you a message. I haven't talked to you in years, dude. It's been a long time.
It's been about a good 3 years, I think.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
We'll discuss that because I want to reminisce with you. It's been a while, dude. So season 4, the other stuff was the Queen Isabella Causeway collapse, but I want to get back into the roots of why I started a podcast, and that's to find out why people do the things that they do. And I got a good special buddy here, Matt Castillo. Just in case people don't know who you are, talk a little bit about yourself.
I'm a country musician. I'm a country artist, I would say. I'm proud to say that. You know, been doing it for a good while. Started down here in South Texas, down in Edinburgh, where it all kind of originated from, and planted the seed, and was very happy that I've had the love that the Valley has shown for original music. You know, we started out as playing the honky tonks and the covers and being the cover band. Then we slowly switched. But, you know, I just been doing this, and I love every minute of it, every day. And so I've been, you know, just doing that right now. So
you live in Austin, dude. I've been wanting to move to Austin for years.
The secret's out now.
How is it, dude?
It's been good, man. So, you know, I was able to have my family live in Austin and my family live in the Valley in Edinburgh. So making that transition has been pretty easy. I know to some it's a little bit harder because you have to really plan out if you're going to move to Austin and figure that out. Well, I was really blessed to have my mom live in Austin and my dad's side of the family live in Edinburgh. Okay. And so making that transition has been really, really easy. My mom was just saying, hey, you know, I know things have been kind of tough for you during the pandemic, and you have a lot of money going out but none coming in. Wow. And that's just the story of any small business, anybody doing this, whether it be a musician, small business, bakery, all these people. I feel for you, and I'm praying for you every day that you guys bounce back, you know, like us. But my mom was saying, hey, come work at the store. She owns her own 7-Eleven. And so I packed up, and it all just started like, let me go help you out for a month or two. Well, it's turned into since February. And I went up the weekend or that snowstorm had hit Austin. I drove up that Sunday and drove into a snow, it looked like Christmas.
Jeez.
And then after that, went to work, you know, drove in the snow, help out my mom. She never closed. And so we were helping out the community, and it felt good to, you know, do that. But, you know, things are rolling again for us, and I'm happy for that. But, yeah, that's kind of the backstory. That's how Austin's been a little bit easy to transition over there, is because I got my mom out there to help me out. And she believes in the dream that I'm chasing.
That's awesome.
I'm out there chasing it. It ain't chasing me. I'm going out there to go chase it. But, I mean, the continuous love from the Valley when I come home is super awesome. I still consider this home. I grew up here for like 13, 15 years. This is still my home as well. So it's weird how that works out.
Hey guys, I don't know if you knew this, but you can actually start solar with nothing up front, nothing down. My name's Johnny Garza. I'm with the McAllen Valley Roofing and Solar LLC. I'm the acting solar specialist here, and I'm here to make you aware of the incentives that we have. To give you an example, I had a customer come in and they wanted a roof. The roof was going to cost $12,000 to $14,000. And I offered them the choice of going solar. They said they were thinking about it, they just didn't know how to go about it. Said simply just give me your light bill and I'll go off of the usage that you've been using already in your home, so I can make the system big enough to sustain your home. I also told them that I can include the roof. They wouldn't have to give me anything down. They can keep the money in the bank and I could finance it all together. Payment was literally the same or a little bit more than what they were paying for light. We have a 30-year warranty on the system and the marksmanship of the installation. So the sustainability of the system, if anything happens, for example, if we go on the roof and we damage a roof, our warranty covers that repair. So just call the number down below and Dana will answer and take care of you just like family.
Let me ask you this. How does living life on your own terms work out for you? Because I struggle with this. I'm an entrepreneur. I was telling you earlier, I have those really high highs, really low lows.
Right.
How do you deal with that?
Well, I think the biggest problem I have is in my head. You know, I'm my biggest critic. You know, I kind of bully myself sometimes, but I also try to motivate myself and build some confidence internally to go out there, to go take that risk. And the highs are recently when I released my EP, brand new music. It took me 2.5 years to get it done. You know, the low at the time was, I don't have any new music out. What am I going to do? You know, I have to have something to promote. I was in my own head. But I knew that taking that time to just really co-write, get to that rhythm, that discipline to write these songs and go put it out was going to be the high, and that's the reward. And it happened in April when we released my new EP, How the River Flows, and everybody's been digging it. It's a new sound. It's exactly what I was planning on for. Like, you know, that's what I was aiming for. Yeah. You know, I recorded down here in South Texas, down here in Edinburgh at Sounds of Rain, and I was able to record the second album in Wimberley, Texas. But somewhere along the way, I was proud of those songs, but just kind of missing something. So I went up to Nashville to go record the EP. When I came home with the songs, I was like, this is what I've been wanting. This is what I've been chasing.
What's missing? Because I'm always interested in hearing that, because I always feel like the RGV is always behind in a few years. I know there's a ton of amazing artists, a ton of talented people.
Right.
What's that one thing that was missing that you can't get here that you can get in Nashville?
I think, to me, it was just the experience and the players and being able to think faster in that moment. And I took my guys into the studio, and we did the best we could. And I'm proud of the songs that I wrote off Small Town Stories into Still Sane. And I'm really, really proud of what I did on How the River Flows. The difference is that just the guitar tones, the way it's laid out, just the sonics. It's country. Yeah. It's country. I've been wanting to make a really country album. The last few were kind of rockish. There was hints of country in there. Like, for instance, Still Sane off the Still Sane record was like Hella Heartache. That was country. Yeah. Well, I wanted more of that, but in its own song has its own substance. It has its own sound, has its own unique thing. And I found that in Nashville. You have to understand, it would take us weeks to get down this music with my old band. In Nashville, these players are on Willie Nelson, Dierks Bentley, Luke Combs, heavy hitters, dude. They show up and they do the job.
Yeah, I don't think people understand that there's session players. That's literally all they do.
You know, and no disrespect to the guys that are in the band or anything. They're awesome. You know, they're talented. I know them, dude. They're talented, are amazing players, right? And I really wanted them to experience that. I want them to experience that with me, to say, you know, there's a bigger world out there that you can still continue to learn and be better. Because I'll tell you what, man, I was trying to hang on for dear life while I was in the studio. You know, my producer and mentor, Roger Brown, said, just hang on, Matt. You know, you're going to be singing the songs, you know, and that song is going to be coming to life. So you're going to kind of don't get too deep into the songs, because that's how it's going to sound. And from beginning to end, after we were done, my producer would look at me and say, thumbs up. I said, hell yeah, thumbs up. That's what I want, you know. And these guys created on the spot.
That's awesome.
All they had were their song charts. That's all they followed. The Nashville number system, they had that, and they followed it, and they killed it.
Damn.
I was like, holy crap, this is too much for me. I'm over. I just remember after every song that we cut, we would take a break, and I would say, thank you. Thank you, man. I know there's one song on there called Evil Kind of Woman. James Mitchell, the guitar player, man, he ripped my song to pieces.
Really?
I was like, my poor baby, you know? But it's so country, and you guys got to go hear it. But I mean, it's just a lot of learning, man. I've learned from, I'm so glad that I went through that experiences with my guys. And for a long time, you know, like there's a band out there called Flatline Cavalry. All their guys recorded their songs together, and that's great. They found something special, and I'm proud of them, and they can have that. I really wish I had that too. But in the moment that where my career is going, where it's headed, it was destined to get to Nashville, have those recording guys come in, and it made my guys better that are with me today. They love that music. They're playing it. They're killing it. And those guys, that's all they want to do is just play music on somebody's record, dip in and dip out.
Yeah. The
rest of the guys, hey, man, killing it. So And throughout that, it's just been like, how do I continue to keep doing this?
Yeah.
You know, I'm always afraid of not be able to write another song, you know, not be able to get to the next, but I've changed that. And this record has helped me change that, my mindset, to feel like I can't wait to go out and write more. It's almost built confidence to keep writing more so I can go back to that studio.
Interesting.
Go play, cut out, you know, cut some more songs, put them out there for the world to hear, and leave something good behind. That's me.
Yeah, no, it's your legacy, man.
Yeah.
It's your art. That I never really understood artists or art more than I have in the past year. Obviously, COVID shaped a lot of people's mentalities. A lot of people passed away. A lot of people have different mentalities now.
Right.
But I've never appreciated art more than I do at this point in my life. It could be because I'm getting older.
Yeah.
But
and you experience life.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you're able to turn a page and not go back to that old page. Yeah. I mean, again, the high was going into the studio too, because I didn't know the pandemic was going to happen. We went in the studio in January, get out of January, we're going into February. We cut the vocals in February. I'm coming home on a plane, headed to Houston for this cook-off, the rodeo cook-off, play a killer show, get home. One last show, South Padre Island, with Parker McCollum and Flatline Calvary. Next thing you know, get the phone call, all shows canceled.
Damn.
Hear the news, we're going into lockdown. Quarantine, everything, blah, 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 blah. And then it just never stopped. It just kept going and going and going. And I'm over here sitting with these songs. I can't do anything. I can't push anything out to radio. There's no need to do anything. That was a low, but it was also a self-reflecting low. And I was able to just really sit down and really plan out what was going to happen if things were to open up. If things were going to open up, okay, this is what I was going to do. This was my game plan. And I just hope that the guys that I had were going to just continue to do. I hope they didn't lose hope, you know, and I kept telling them, we would get on meetings and Zoom calls and just try to just tell them, I'm not quitting. This is not going to stop me. You know, as a business, this is not going to be the reason why I don't ever play music again. This is not the reason why my business goes under. This is not it. I'm not going to let that happen. You know, keep the faith. I promise you we're going to come back stronger than ever. I got a game plan. Just trust me, and we're going to make it through. So the moment I think June opened up, we were able to go play our first show. And in between that, we're finding like a new guitar player, and we found the right guy that's with us today. And he like believed in everything, and he just learned all the songs, just killed it. And so now we just haven't stopped. You know, we look at the tour dates now for June, July, and August, and I'm like, wow, it seems like it's busy, you know, and any gig that we get to play right now is a blessing.
It seemed like everything has just picked up back to normal.
Yeah.
Is that what you're feeling?
Yeah. You know, and what helped too is we released the first single in June called Say It. We were able to record it at Hillbillies during the COVID thing. Our fans and friends came out to record the song, record the music video. And then we released another one called Leaving Brownsville Tonight. We shot it in Brownsville, Texas, shot it in like a day and a half, I think. Put that out there, and then it just kind of kept rolling. And so we started seeing more shows coming in and going out there to go attack it. I went a little bit more aggressive approach to get in that venue. You know, we were able to have our first bucket list show at Lukenbach, Texas with Jason Boland and Stragglers. Sold out show.
That's awesome.
I was just the opener, and I was blessed to be in front of that many people who missed country music as much as we did.
Yeah.
So
yeah, a lot of people are waiting to get back. Like I noticed as soon as things started opening again, places were packed, man.
Yeah.
It's good to see. It's good to see because I have a ton of musician friends, man. And it is probably one of the hardest things watching all through COVID that they don't have jobs. They don't have this money coming in anymore that they used to do every single week, man.
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, the one thing that I'm happy that I was able to establish early on was a business plan. I was able to, you know, have a business set up first, and then the music, because that was able to establish my income.
Yeah.
You know, my gross every year. I had the P&L, and so when it came time during the COVID to sign up for an SBA loan, I had all that history because I had set up the business first. And because I knew this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I knew this was a career that I wanted to chase. And if I was going to do it the right way, this is the way it has to start. You have to treat your music as a business. It's music business. You can't, it starts with the song. You can't, there's no denying that the song is what's going to make or break you. It's going to hit or not. But you can't leave that to chance and base it just on music or that song. You have to have a business plan. You have to have, you know, your goals and everything. And I was able to establish early on in 2013 up until now. So I didn't know when I was going to use it, but come the pandemic, I was able to because I had that history. And that was such a good learning lesson. I'm so glad that I did that early on. I didn't, you know, and again, and I was doing this full time. This was my sole job, waking up every day, reaching out to venues, trying to write songs, trying to run my social media, trying to do everything, wear all these hats. I woke up every day and did that. The moment that got taken away from me, I'm like, what am I going to do? Then you had the Facebook lives that were hitting it for like 2 weeks. And then all these other bands started doing it. And you're taking away money from somebody that doesn't have a job anymore. Or maybe somebody does, but they have to be frugal with it. Yeah. But here we are on social media asking for this stuff, you know, and it worked for a little bit. Like, kudos to my fans. I love you to death. And I had a bigger appreciation for my fans for this. We went to a show. We had a show planned out, and it got canceled. And my thing was keep my word for my boys. I'm going to pay you. So that show happened, and I still felt bad. Yes, was it my fault? No, none of this was our fault. But I still had an obligation to pay my guys because that's my word. I keep my word. So I had a Facebook Live, back the band. Anything that you guys donate is going strictly to the boys. And we did that. Myself and my bass player, Mark, and social media guy, Andrew, we just went Facebook Live. And all my fans pitched in, tipped us, and I was able to pay everybody.
That's awesome, man.
Pay everybody that we didn't have. And I tell you what, my heart was so big and so warm. And it was just everything that we do now is for them. Yeah. You know, every show is dedicated to them. Everything that we do, they go on the road. They're hitting the road just as hard as we are because they're coming to our shows. Yeah. I love them. They are the best.
I don't think people really understand the relationship that like an artist has with their fans. Can you kind of touch on that? Because for me, I don't know that. I've never been in an original band or per se that has gotten success like you all have, that you all actually have raving fans. Like, how does that feel?
And in the beginning, you just kind of be like, oh, you're in a sense, in the beginning, it's like you come to this bar because this is your favorite bar. And I just so happen to be here to play. Well, we grab that fan. And my thing is, how do I keep them? How do I be authentic, still be myself, and how do I capture them? Well, one, it's the show, and two, is what you do after the show. And when you're at the merch booth, it's all about them. You know, you get to know them. They're like, I love your songs, I love your voice, I love blah, blah, blah. You know, thank you for coming to the show. You know, and you just build that relationship after the show. You keep them, and then if they reach out to you on social media, reach back out. Yeah. Talk to them. You know, fans, they're really good at giving me some space and being appropriate and asking questions and getting to know me. And I'm I'm out there with them, you know. They want to know what time I'm playing. Here it is, you know, this is what I'm thinking, you know, and they show up to the shows, and it's them. It's all about them. The relationship that I had just built organically. It's not, and then they go tell their fans, their friends, and then they become fans. And then I'm sitting with them before the show, or I'm hanging out with them after hours. Like when we played the show in Lukenbach with Jason Boland, we had a standing ovation, and we were just the opening band. Awesome. We just played our show. We don't. It's not like, oh, today we're gonna go 110% on the show to blow out the headliner. No, it was just go be ourselves. Yeah, go play, and we did, and we had a standing ovation. And I went to the merch booth to hang out with everybody, sign anything, and I had a line all the way down, and I had a line that way, and I just thought, is this it? Like, is this what it really feels like? And I went and I saw every single person.
That's awesome.
Every single person. I talked to them. Where are you from? You know, I'm so glad you enjoyed the show. And I had like these posters that I just give away, and I sign and I give away. Like, you don't need to buy anything. This is for you. And that just kind of cultivated into this community. They're not just a head in the crowd. That's somebody that I got to know. They're from, San Antonio. They're from Martindale. They're from Waco. They're from Cypress, Texas. They're from Fort Worth. They're from Oklahoma. And I keep up with that. I have a good. Some I may not remember their name, but I remember their faces, and I remember that. Fans in Waco. It's just grinding out, but I can't do it without them. I can only do so much. Yeah. I've learned that, and they really come to the shows and they build it up. Like, oh man, it's just been overwhelming, but in a good way. I'm so blessed. And like, I just did a post today on Insta Stories just to say thank you to them. Like, I'm so excited for these shows. I cannot wait for you to come to the shows to see you again. And it's you guys. Like, I'm super blessed. Like, I'm happy. Yeah. Happiest I've ever been.
You seem like you have an emotional intelligence level that's a lot higher, because I know a lot of people, period, that just won't put in that extra work. Why do you think that you have that?
Again, it's through experience. In the beginning, when I first started this, people would tell me thank you. People would compliment me. Mm-hmm. And I would just say thank you, because I didn't know how to take that in. You get done playing a show. Oh, that was great. You just have all these people just kind of talking to you, and you were trying to be nice and kind, and it's a little overwhelming. But how do you block all that noise out and just give this person attention? Yeah. Thank you. Where are you from? How'd you find out about us? I'm so happy that you came to the show. Hopefully you're a fan now. Is there anything we could do in the merch booth? Hey, tell our guy that this is your first time seeing us, and they'll take care of you. And my thing is, first time seeing me, you get a little bit more at the merch, because I want you to come back. I really value your love for country music. And I know that you're going to go home and tell a few more people of that experience. And my goal that I told my boys was, we're going to give these people an experience. Yeah. We're not just going to show up and play and do our job. We're going to give them an experience. And that doesn't stop once I get off stage. It continues. At the merch booth, the next day, anybody wants to share my music, I will share it. They are what makes us. And so now our goal is to branch out of Texas and just go to Oklahoma, Montana, Wyoming, New Mexico, Arkansas. Oh, I just found out that there was a radio station in Arkansas that was playing me. And I had a fan that's on the borderline of Pensacola, Oklahoma, and then there's Arkansas. Well, they were out there hanging out, and there was a radio station, 96.7 or something, that was playing Leaving Brownsville Tonight. Nice. Who would have thought? So, I just learned that they are. I see it with other bands too. Like, for instance, an artist named Cody Jinks. He has the biggest, most down to earth fans that will. They have a group page, and they call it Flockers. And dude, they just pour love into this guy. Awesome, it's so crazy. I don't know. It's just, you just don't know what you're gonna get. Yeah. But when you do get the good, you take it in, and I've never had a bad situation, but I love these these fans. They're the people building a community. I'm not building a fan, I'm building a community. I'm building a family that's going to go on for generations. They're going to tell their kids and their kids and their kids. Like, how does the Randy Rogers Band stay relevant? Because they come out with really good music, they have a really good game plan, but they also have the fans, and it's a generation. Over generations, their parents pass down good music to them, and then they come back. Oh, and that's all it is. That's, to me, building a good community around it.
Back in 2013, when you started the business part of this, who taught you that? Like, how did you know to do that first, and then the music? Experience
through my uncle. My aunt and my uncle helped raise me in Edinburgh, and my uncle had his own business, still has his own business till today. And when you're a product of your upbringing, right? I believe that. So if your family owns businesses, you feel like you have to do that. You get in that same thing. And I've always wanted to own a business. I've always wanted to own something, and care for it and nurture it and put food on the table for others, because I see my uncle do that for his employees. I grew up around it, and that's what I wanted. But I was a little scared to chase this dream. It was little nerve-wracking, and you just didn't know. You put yourself out there. People can easily tear you down on the internet. They're easy to do that. They won't do it in your face, but they'll do it on the internet, you know. But you just got to just block everything out. So having that upbringing, I just gave it a shot. Let's get it. Went to the county and got a DBA, put it under my old band name, and went out and chased it. Went out and did it. And I knew that we started off as a cover band. And I told my guys a long time ago, was like, okay, do you want to do it the right way or under the table way?
Yeah.
And so
which is the way is
mostly.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, we want to do it the right way. What's the right way? All right, I gotta cut you checks. I gotta pay taxes. You're gonna pay taxes. It's just, are you okay with that?
The way it is.
Everybody was like, yeah. So they helped it make it easier for me to kind of go down that route. So I started doing some, researching, learning how to do certain things, and I just loved it. I wanted to be better at it, and every year I set my goal. I wanted to make X amount of dollars every year, and I wanted to grow. That showed growth. It wasn't.
That's awesome.
Other than building a fan base and merchandise and all these things, a lot of it was at the end of the year. How did we do? How many shows did we have that year? What was our gross? And without lacking the music side. And so I was able to do that, and I was very proud of that. I'd see my taxes at the end of the year, and I was really proud. I was really proud of what I had to pay. Yeah, So, my family, I grew up around that, and my mom owns her own business now too. So when we talk, we were able to understand each other of the struggles.
Yeah. I think that's one of the hardest things, man, is owning a business on your terms, doing what you want to do in this life. It's very rewarding. It's also very scary.
Yeah. Yeah. When you got no money.
Yeah.
And you're in the trenches, what you do with that is says a lot about your character and your perseverance of trying to just get out on top.
It's very easy to falter and fall. It's very easy.
It's easy to give up.
Yeah.
Right. What do they say? The worst thing you can do is stop, and I asked a lot of questions. I went out and did some research and stuff, but the one thing I didn't want to lose sight of was the music side. You can have a wonderful business, but it ain't going to grow unless you have something really good to offer. And we took a risk. I know I took a risk. I took a risk on every album, and the riskiest one was this album, the EP. And I'm happy with the way it came out. And there's so much more music to come, and that what excites me to work harder now and at that time during June of last year.
No.
To make sure that we didn't fault.
Life has changed dramatically, man. It's pretty crazy.
But it's been good.
Yeah. With that being said, we're going to say hi to our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Hey folks, there's a pandemic, there's an epidemic, and it's sweeping across the country, and the RGV is a hot spot, and it's not COVID, it's bad credit. Bad credit can rob you of a lifetime of high interest payments, tens of thousands of dollars. It can rob you from getting that dream home or that beautiful car that you've always wanted. Don't let bad credit do that to you. Give us a call, Beretta Credit Repair. The number's on the screen. Give us a call. We're right here in the RGV. You'll be glad you did.
So life on the road, man. I've never had the opportunity to jump in a van or fly with other guys. Well, I have flown, but not for original music and not actually do tour dates. How's life on the road, dude?
You're more than welcome to come if you can. You know, so life on the road was good. So at the time, in the very beginning, my old drummer, he had a Dodge lifted truck, and we would always rent a U-Haul every weekend. We would, like, if we have to be somewhere Friday, we'd go early in the morning Friday to go pick up the U-Haul, you know, latch it, put all our equipment in, we run. And then he's like, hey man, like eventually I'm gonna have to change my tires, or do you mind paying for the oil change and all these things? And I said, yeah, sure, man. You know, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. But then I noticed that, well, wait, if I pay for the oil change, that's less money in the band money. So let me redirect where this money goes. Cause at one time it was 50-50.
Yeah.
But I knew that eventually with expenses, it was going to eat into my business. So I said, you know what, guys, we're going to just reevaluate everything. We're going to change the business structure. And they really didn't like it. But at the end, it really actually saved our butts, because the money that I was getting from the band, from the venues, and everybody's getting paid out what everybody agreed on. But that was able to allow me to save up money and get a Ford E350 van.
Nice.
Was it the best van? No, but I had some help. My uncle helped me out, and he did the inside of the van, and we had our problems. You know, we would go to Houston, Lubbock, San Angelo, Midland with no aircon, and so wintertime wasn't bad because we had a really good heater that really blew some heat. But during summertime, damn it, man, that was rough. We had a private show in Lubbock, and we had to go to Houston. We had to drive all the way, and that was the most hottest thing. And the radio didn't work in in my van. It was my first thing that I owned, and in the van, we didn't have a radio. So we had this little Bose speaker that we'd put in the middle between the driver and the passenger seat, and we would just jam out through there because we didn't have that radio. And I was like, damn, every time we'd go like to a Luz or a Flying J, and I see a Mercedes Sprinter, I always told myself and told the boys, I'm going to own one of those one day. I know I'm going to get one of those. I don't want to be in anything else than one of those. Why? Because when we're getting ready for a show, we're sitting in the van, it's hot as hell. I can't even stand up in an E350. I'm like 6 foot tall. I can't do anything. I was miserable, but I knew this was just going to get us to the next step. So touring was fun. Like, wake up, and I think we went to Belton, Texas one day, one show, and then we had to go to Lubbock. So we drove all night.
Jeez.
Got to like a midway town somewhere and slept like at 4 a.m. Had to call the hotel. Please don't give our hotel away. Like, we're going to be there. I promise. We're on the way. We're like 30 minutes out. Don't give it away. And so that touring life with the E350 was humble beginnings. And then there was an opportunity before I went to Nashville to go ride, where our team and manager was like, hey, I'm going to go on and see if we find anything for a Sprinter. And we did. So there I am in Nashville. I go to a songwriter retreat, and we're talking to the bank. Bank's like, how many shows do you have coming up? I'm like, I don't know, like 40. I don't know. And so I remember being in Nashville in the hotel room signing the paperwork through a phone. So when I flew in from Nashville, my Sprinter was coming in from Plano.
That's awesome.
And we met at the same time. And I was like, that was my first big boy purchase of anything. Like, if I was going to own anything, I didn't want a brand new car. I wanted a Sprinter, something that was going to get us down the road. And we still have it to this day. And I love that baby, that humble beginnings. Like, I worked for that. I'm working at that. So, and touring life in there is easy. Like, whew, man, I can stand up if I'm feeling tired, or like, I don't want to lay down anymore. I can stand up when I'm getting ready. I don't have to. The aircon blows. I'm I was so happy. I was like, I want to get on the tour bus. Yeah. My next goal, but I mean, little by little, man. But yeah, touring life is good.
That's awesome, man.
You got to be a road warrior though. Yeah. Okay. Cause the road ain't for everybody. I can tell you that right now. Waking up at 6 a.m, driving 5 hours. We're in the valley, right? So to get anywhere in the valley takes about 3 hours, right? Unless you're going to Corpus, but if you're going to go to Austin, Houston, Dallas, Lubbock, you're looking at a 10-hour, 8-hour ride, easy. And so you have to be ready to get up early and do that. You can party hard the night after the show, get to the hotel like at 2, 3, wake up at 6, and drive another 8 hours home. Not everybody can do that.
Yeah.
And then when you have family at home that's calling you to come home, or you have these holidays, you know, it just really weighs on you, and it really, you pay your dues on the road. But if you can last, you'll be fine. Yeah. You know, you'll be fine. You just get in a routine. Just try to stay mentally there. And everything is fine, you know, I think.
Yeah. So I think you're right. And I think what you touched on is reinvesting back into your business. I don't think that many people will do that. Like for me, for example, when I get a check or something, I'll buy new equipment just to make the quality even higher.
Yes, of course.
Everything, all the time, man. And I don't think people will do that. I think they get comfortable at a certain extent. Like you can get away with a lot in the beginning.
Yeah.
I was using my phone for podcasts, but eventually you want bigger, better stuff. So
yeah, you want to go after quality. And for us, in my mind and my goals, I owe this to my mom. My mom would always say, where do you see yourself in 6 months? Where do you see yourself in a year? Where do you see yourself in 5? And I applied that to the mindset, applied that to the business, and applied it to my songwriting too. Okay, where do you see yourself? How many albums do you want to put out? Where are you going to go write? Who are you going to go write with? If you like that song, who wrote that song? Do you have anybody, you know, you just go out there. And I always just put it back in the business. And you have to understand, I have not paid myself in years because I always wanted whatever I got, I put it back in the band.
Put it back in.
I now have some money to spend because of my side job. But no matter what we get on Matt Castillo goes back into Matt Castillo. All the merchandise gets replenished in it. All the advertisement, and that's another thing. Oh my God, advertisement. You know this, but I mean, do we have extra money from merchandise to throw in advertisement? Do we have extra money from the show to throw in after paying everybody out? My priority is paying everybody in the band and the crew. Whatever money I have left, that's what I get to work with. Do I have a budget for the next show to promote? Do I have enough money to pay for merchandise? Could I put more money in my credit card? Can I put more money in the Sprinter? You know, can I pay ahead? So we're not behind. And that's just the way it rolls, you know, that's just the way it goes. And I just got into those good habits. I was able to establish good habits. And the pandemic, again, I hate to keep going back to that, but man, I was like, am I going to survive? I got more money going out.
It's a part of people's life now, man. That's
like, I got more money coming out than I have coming in. How does that even pop? You know? Yeah. And you apply for the PPP because you got a crew of 8, 9. Nope, don't get approved. What do you mean? We're struggling small business. What do you mean don't get approved? But you go out and give money to a damn Burger King or Chili's or whatever the hell. That's millions of dollars. Yeah. And these folks, I feel for small business. I love small business. I love helping small businesses. If I can partner up with small business, I will. But, you know, it's just, it's a lot. But I mean, establishing that. So, I don't know.
What do you think has been your biggest struggle so far besides COVID? Specifically in the music.
I think having the opportunities to get on a road with more established artists has been a struggle because some of the booking agencies in Texas that are really doing really good already have their artists. So in a sense, it's almost like a monopoly.
Gotcha.
They cover everything. They are in control of the market. So for as an independent artist to, you know, wiggle your way in as an opener, all the stars have to almost line up because either their artists they already have there, they are developing already on the road with other artists. So that makes you an opportunity to get in. So sometimes some of the booking agencies do have monopoly in the market. So for us artists and myself that we're fighting for, it's a little bit hard to get there. So,
but it's not impossible.
It's not possible, but you have to really, 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 really be persistent and aggressive. And hopefully they'll say, okay, yeah, you're a good fit for this artist. You're more than welcome to. But that's just the way it works. It's either you're in that circle or you're not. But if you're not, you have to work a little bit harder. That's the biggest struggle. I think that I would be able to move the needle forward, move the needle more, move the yards, move the chain, however you want to say it, if we were in front of a bigger act. Because I feel like our show is right up there with a lot of the artists that are in the artist development stages.
Interesting. Let me ask you this. Do you think, and this has been one of my questions that I ask everybody because I still struggle with it. Do you think that you can make it big if you live in the RGV and operate out of here?
Yes.
Further. Keep going, man.
You know, that was one of my biggest things. It's like, I want to be the band that makes it out of the Valley.
Yeah.
And we were, and we are. Is Austin home? Yes, but the Valley is still home. I represented every show. No matter where we go, we're on the stage. I was born in Austin, Texas, and I was raised in the RGV. I was raised in Edinburgh, Texas. You want to know more? Come talk to me. I took pride in getting out of the Valley for the sake of the Valley, you know? Mm-hmm. I wasn't born here and then I left. It was the opposite. I came down here and I grew my roots, and I was proud. Every time we went out of the Valley, I loved putting in the miles, racking up shows, being from the RGV, being from Edinburgh, you know, where a crazy dream goal would be like coming in from 281 South, home of, you know, Matt Castillo, because we representing the Valley. There's certain things that stop us, which is a big part where people don't understand because they think it's dying, is radio. Again, getting played one time every Saturday is not going to do any good for anybody that's trying to chase the dream down here to be an original artist. I hate to say that. I get more radio play in a small town that I'm not even from than I do in my own hometown. It's something wrong there. You know, like, you as a program director need to understand and have a better handle on your community. People that encourage them to go out and chase that dream, support them. Don't play them one time. It does nobody get. So what makes it hard is that nobody in Brownsville knows who I am. There's only one radio station here, country.
Yeah.
There once was two. Now there's only one. Nobody knows me in Rio. Nobody knows me in La Jolla. Why? Because there's no radio play. I'm like, I got a top 20 single, and not even my own radio station knew about it. And that's because my radio promoter contacted them and said, hey, your boy is from Edinburgh, Texas. Like, dude, get on it. Nothing.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe I really don't know. It's just a push of a button, my man.
Yeah.
Here it is. Here's a CD. Here's a digital download you take from your computer, you put in your little system, and you just press play. Do
you think it's that Valley pride where people don't like to see you succeed more than them?
Man, I don't like to think like that. I hope people don't like to think like that. I really try to stay positive on that. There has to be a bigger reason. Maybe it's a corporate thing. But why would corporate give you one day to play your local artists? Yeah. I don't get it, man. And so it kind of makes it hard, because I think if we had that Valley support, that radio support, I think it would encourage more people to go out and write quality songs so that our own community can back us up. The love that we have, the fan base that we have down here is awesome. You know, is it big? No, but it's the quality of people that are listening to my music and support me and come to the shows, go to Hillbillies, and anywhere I'm playing, they come out and support. I love that. So is it harder? Yeah, it is a little harder, but you got to be up for the challenge.
Yeah.
If I can do it, I've always said this, let me be the guinea pig. Let me go out there and figure out what works and what doesn't work. So that if you want to go out and chase a dream or chase it and that next level, I will give you, in a sense, the answers to how to do that. Radio success is hard. It's even harder when your own community, your own one radio station doesn't want to play you. So there's more to it, I think, but
I'm sure, man. Even I struggle with it, because there's always that compadre system that's always working in the background. It's like,
right.
I can't get my fucking foot in the door, man.
And I'm probably going to get some heat for saying that, but I mean, that's the God honest truth. Like,
that's true.
I don't know what else to do, you know, as far as radio. I think if you know, the radio station would be named names, because everybody that knows this town knows what radio station, but if they would just play us a little bit more, put us on the charts, help us get to the charts, go from like, what if this radio station was one spin away from helping you get a number one?
Yeah.
You think they would do it? You think if our radio promoter said, hey, Matt's on the verge of hitting a number one, and all we need is 1 or 3 spins from you. You think they're going to do it? No, because they don't even report those spins, but they'll report it to Nashville. They'll report it to all these other people. Look, I'm not jaded. I'm not mad. I'm not jaded. I'm not anything. I'm just saying that's just the reality.
Right.
So either you play the game or you don't. And I always thought that let the music and my work ethic and everything else just kind of shine and just let that be. I'm not going to let one thing ruin it and make me quit, or just go out and do it. Yeah. Just go out, and one day maybe they'll come around. And when they do, you smile and say thank you and go from there.
And that was one of the reasons why I started the podcast years ago, because I felt that like it was always, I was being silenced somehow. I've lost clients through it, but I always wanted to do my thing on my terms.
Yeah.
And that's why I created the podcast, to be able to say what I want to say,
right? Have
people say what they want to say. And at the same time, grow this medium that nobody really understands yet. But I think once it starts getting bigger, people will be like, well, I can share my ideas, my values, everything of how I am.
You know, we're all human. We all fear something. We all love something. And some are afraid to vocalize that. Yeah. And podcasts gives you that avenue to go do that, and respectfully, and say that, again, this is not me being angry at the music business. I'm just one little speck of a greater scene that we're in. My sound belongs to a certain type of ears. It's not going to be a massive ears like what you hear on the radio, what you hear out of Nashville. That's just not my love. That's not where I gravitate to. And the fans that I'm getting are the fans that miss that nostalgia, 90s country, but still not being just another guy playing country music. You know, there's something behind it. But again, going back to owning your own thing, and it's a big risk because you have 5, 7, 8 other people in your crew that you cannot let down. So you always have to keep rolling. You have one, you cannot let yourself down, because, or, you know, your family too, right? This is one source of income that comes in that can turn into something great. That's all I'm trying to do. Yeah. I'm trying to do the same thing. Get out on the road, put out good music, tour, put food on the table for my guys so that they can go and put food on the table for theirs, or maybe go and use that to better themselves. That was always my game plan, and till this day. And then also do that continuously. Yeah. That's
how awesome is it to be able to live life on your own terms, man, and get paid for it?
It feels good, but it's easy to get comfortable.
Yeah.
Back to what we were saying, it's real easy to get comfortable. So you have to always check yourself. You know, am I following the goals that I had laid out? Am I doing this? If I'm not, why did I get comfortable? Was it because for that month we had 9 private shows that paid X amount of dollars, so I don't need to do anything? I can sit back and enjoy. But no. The moment you let up 1 to 2 weeks, that's a month back. And I learned that. And to me, if I don't do anything for 2 weeks, I literally just took a month step back. And I can't let that happen. We're too independent. We're too new. To let that happen. You know, you could be easily a rock star in your hometown, but everywhere else, nobody knows who you are. And that's what motivates me. Valley knows, I would think the Valley knows who I am. So I conquered that. That's great. I love it. I always come back, but that town doesn't know who I am. So let me go to that town. Let me go conquer that. Let me go to Austin and plant some roots down there and be different and build a fan base off there, because it all comes back together. And then let's go to Oklahoma, and then let's go to Kansas. Let's go to New Mexico. Let's go to Colorado. We were able to do that, but there's a lot of bucket list shows that we're grateful for, like playing the Grizzly Rose in Denver, Colorado. One of the highlight moments of my life. One of the great ones, you know. Next is down the road, God willing, Red Rocks, you know. Just always keep going. I love it, man. I love being my own boss. But you also have to answer to your other people in your crew, you know, your team. Yeah. So they don't, just because you're the boss doesn't mean you can do it and not and then get away with stuff. No, your crew's going to keep you in check. And I love my crew. I love my guys. They keep me in check, and we're going out. We all have the same vision. That's what I love. We all have the same vision, and I keep my goals nice and simple and easy to attain. And I'm blessed to have those guys, man. They're giving it up. They're giving their weekends up. They're giving their family time up. They're giving their birthdays up. They're giving their holidays to just move us forward. Yeah. And I can't do it without them. Let that be known. I can be an acoustic act for the rest of my life, but is that really going to get me anywhere? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I feel it's more of a show with my guys because they understand and they show up and they play and they love it. And once you have a great group of guys like that, you just keep rolling, man.
Yeah, it's hard to find good people that will come along with you for the journey.
Really is. And I think the people that do come into your life and then leave are a teaching lesson to.
It's just as important.
Yeah. You know, and that's the way it is. All due respect for all the guys, man. Hope they're doing great.
So before we finish off the podcast,
it's already gonna end.
I want you to drop some knowledge bombs, man. like for people that are doing music now, just give them your experience, your insight of how to do it, I guess, with less friction.
I don't know. I think everybody's different. I would say really have a clear goal of what you want to do. If you're living month to month goal wise, that's cool. If you're living month to month based off just pay, that's good, but it ain't gonna get you where you want to be. And that's Josh, where you want to be in a year. You know, what do you want to do? Have a hard conversation with yourself. Do you want this to be a career, or are you just doing this as a hobby? If you're doing it as a hobby, awesome. Don't expect any more, any less. Just this is a hobby. Just wake up every day and I go play my show from 9 to 2 and go home and be happy. Great. But if you're really going to pursue it, have respect for it and treat it with respect. Like, treat the ones before you. Know your history of country music. Know who was before you. Know who wrote those songs. Know the artists. Just because Garth Brooks sang that song doesn't mean he wrote it. Mm-hmm. There was a songwriter that was struggling to get a record deal or get a song cut by an amazing artist. That person made that person. Like, dude, have some common courtesy and some respect for the scene, for the music scene. Know who wrote those songs, you know, and treat it with love and respect. If you're going to do it right, do it right. And I think everybody that does it a certain way is their way. They're going to figure it out. Yeah. I think the best way to really wrap this up is just got to go out and experience it. You're going to go through friction. Everybody does. There is no fast pass, I don't think. If you have money, use it wisely, spend it wisely. If you have a backer, like an investor, make sure that both of you are clear on what they want and what you want. And always protect yourself with your music. Make sure it's always, you know, PROs and as they call them, your BMI, your ASCAP. I'm forgetting some other ones, but protect your music. You know, make sure you have all your documentation. You know, there's a lot of guys down here that are trying to chase it, and they're doing a great job. You know, they're going to have to learn. You can give me all the social media advice as you want. Yeah. You could lay it on me. Yeah. And if I don't do it, it's on me. But I would say just don't be afraid, but that's another thing. Yeah. That's a whole nother thing.
Well, that being said, guys, once again, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. It's out everywhere. It's going to be on YouTube, Facebook, IGTV, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio. It's literally everywhere. So you cannot not miss it. So, once again, I'd like to appreciate you. Thank you very much for coming on the podcast. And we'll see you guys very soon.
See it.
Bye.
Hey guys, I don't know if you knew this, but you can actually start solar with nothing up front, nothing down. My name's Johnny Garza. I'm with the McAllen Valley Roofing and Solar LLC. I'm the acting solar specialist here, and I'm here to make you aware of the incentives that we have. To give you an example, I had a customer come in and they wanted a roof. The roof was going to cost $12,000 to $14,000. and I offered them the choice of going solar. They said they were thinking about it, they just didn't know how to go about it. Said simply just give me your light bill and I'll go off of the usage that you've been using already in your home, so I can make the system big enough to sustain your home. I also told them that I can include the roof. They wouldn't have to give me anything down. They can keep the money in the bank and I could finance it all together. Payment was literally the same or a little bit more than what they were paying for light. We have a 30-year warranty on the system and the marksmanship of the installation. So the sustainability of the system, if anything happens, for example, if we go on the roof and we damage a roof, our warranty covers that repair. So just call the number down below and Dana will answer and take care of you just like family.
Hey folks, there's a pandemic, an epidemic, and it's all across our country, and the RGV is a hot spot for it. I'm not talking about COVID, I am talking about bad credit. Don't let bad credit rob you of your dreams of a nice home, of a nice car. Don't let bad credit rob you of tens of thousands of dollars of high interest payments over your lifetime. Get it fixed. Give us a call, Beretta Credit Repair. We're right here in the RGV, 956-313-7957. Give us a call. You'll be glad you did.